Welcome to chapter 4, and in this final chapter we're going to create the column grid, both regular and irregular. And in order to do that, we need actually a plugin that is called Lunchbox. If you do not have Lunchbox, please go ahead and install it first within your Grasshopper, and then you can continue with the tutorial. If you already have it, go to your Lunchbox tab, and then to Structures. As you can see, there is a variety of 2D grids that you can use, and for this case I'm going to use the diagrid structure. The idea is to create a grid both on the floor and on the ceiling and to connect the according points between themselves. So we're going to create one of those for the floor and the other one for the ceiling. And we're also going to place a common toggle for the U and V directions for both of them. And now we can control the density of the columns. And depending on which system do you use, the orientation and the spreading of the columns is going to be according to the base system that you used in the beginning. Now, since the component already has both the lines and the nodes on the output, we now can use the line between 2 points, and we can connect the nodes from the floor to the nodes from the ceiling. Now, as you can see, Grasshopper connected the points not directly on the bottom, but diagonally. This means that the list of points on the floor and the list of points on the top is not in the same order. What we need to remember about Grasshopper always is we are dealing with lists. So instead of connecting 0 to 0, or rather number 0 being the same point in the same direction, the 0 for the floor and the 0 for the ceiling are in opposite directions. So what we need to do is flip either of those surfaces in order to fix this issue. Let's try first to flip the loft of the floor, right? In order to fix this, because with lofts in Grasshopper, the sequence or the order in which you connect the lines matters. So in this case, if you plug this one first and this one second, it's going to create a different type of surface. Visually, it's going to be the same, but the computation is going to be different. So let's disconnect both of them and try to loft in a different order. Let's put this one first and this one second, and that seemed to have fixed it. Now we can turn this off, and we have the railings for our columns. In order to give them thickness, just type pipe, and you have two variations of piping. In this case, since it is going to be a consistent vertical column, we're going to use a simple pipe. You're going to import the curves and the radius of the pipe. In this case, let's type 0.5 first. And we can adjust the thickness of the columns. And there you go. And now the variety of those columns, or the density of the system, can be determined by the UV count. You can also create a separate toggle for a different system. Let's try another one. So in order to create an irregular system, one way could be to use a random quad panels option, which is essentially the same idea, except let's just get rid of this for now, and we're going to use this. And that. But since we're using the panel option, it doesn't give us the vertices on the output. So let's first create the control of the U and V. And in order to extract the vertices, we're going to deconstruct the BREP. This will give us a control over the vertices of those panels. And finally, we're going to connect the lines. And there we have our irregular grid. And we're going to connect it to the same radius toggle as here. So now you have two versions of irregular and regular grids. Let's go ahead and turn those off. And there you have it. As a result, we created in Grasshopper a system where you can control not just the configuration of the room by moving the toggles in all directions, but also the configuration and the curvature of the ceiling, and the size and the placement of the window. Hope this was helpful in any way, and see you soon.